Imagine an island where myths come alive, home to a labyrinth haunted by a Minotaur, a mighty king named Minos, and a civilization so advanced it left archaeologists and historians stunned. Welcome to the Minoan Civilization, Crete's dazzling jewel in the Bronze Age and perhaps the first chapter in Europe's story. But who were the Minoans? And why did their flourishing empire vanish so mysteriously? Stick around as we dive into the story of a civilization that danced on the edge of myth and history. Also, what's with all the bulls? Seriously, were they ancient mascots or something? The Minoan Civilization, named after the legendary King Minos, emerged around 2000 BCE. Located on Crete, they harnessed their position in the Mediterranean to become masters of trade and culture. Picture this: a thriving network of ships connecting Crete to Egypt, the Near East, and beyond. They didn't just trade goods, they exchanged ideas, crafting a unique identity that still mesmerizes us today. The Minoans weren't your average Bronze Age society. Instead of grim fortresses, they built sprawling, labyrinth-like palaces filled with light, art, and innovation. Knossos, the largest palace, covered an area so vast you could get lost in its halls. And that's exactly how the legend of the Labyrinth was born. Minoan society was deeply interconnected, with well-paved roads linking villages, farms, and towns to the main palaces. These roads weren't just pathways, they symbolized a cultural network humming with trade, artistry, and religious rituals. But what secrets do these palaces hold? And how did they achieve such incredible feats without towering walls to protect them? Knossos wasn't just a palace. It was the beating heart of Minoan life. Here, rulers oversaw an intricate system of administration, trade, and even religion. Picture storerooms overflowing with olive oil and wine, frescoes depicting dolphin-filled seas, and a complex drainage system rivaling modern cities. This was luxury, 3,500 years ago. And religion? The Minoans revered nature. Their gods weren't distant, they were alive in the mountains, the sea, and the creatures around them. Bulls were sacred, and rituals like bull leaping weren't just dangerous, they were spiritual. Now, was bull leaping an ancient version of extreme sports? Or did the Minoans just really love adrenaline? Either way, it's one event I'd pay to watch. Knossos wasn't alone. Palaces in Phaistos, Malia, and Zakros each served as regional hubs, connected by a web of culture, trade, and shared religious practices. But if this was paradise, why did it all come crashing down? And what role did a distant volcano play in the drama? In 1600 BCE, the peaceful Aegean world was rocked by one of history's most cataclysmic events. This wasn't just an eruption, it was a spectacle of destruction. Imagine a blast so powerful it covered Crete in ash, triggered tsunamis, and sent shockwaves across the ancient world. But could a single volcano really bring down an entire civilization? Or was it just the first domino in a chain of disasters? Let's rewind to see how nature's fury clashed with human resilience. Even before the eruption, trouble was brewing. Archaeological evidence suggests the Minoans faced earthquakes and fires that weakened their once mighty palaces. Knossos was rebuilt, but other settlements weren't so lucky. Now add the volcanic eruption into the mix. The ashfall devastated crops, poisoned water supplies, and disrupted trade routes. The once thriving Minoan economy began to falter. And if that wasn't enough, imagine waking up to a tsunami wiping out your ports. Talk about a bad year. But nature wasn't the only enemy. As the Minoans stumbled, a new power rose on the horizon. The Mycenaeans, warriors from the Greek mainland, had been watching and waiting. By 1450 BCE, they seized their chance. Archaeological evidence shows Mycenaean influence taking root in Minoan palaces, particularly at Knossos. Their Linear B script replaced Minoan writing, marking a cultural shift. It wasn't just a hostile takeover, it was the end of an era. The Minoans, the peaceful seafarers of Crete, had become subjects in their own land. But let's not forget, the Mycenaeans inherited as much as they conquered. The Minoans' art, architecture, and maritime skills left an indelible mark on the ancient world. Still, one question remains. Did the Minoans truly disappear, or did their legacy live on in surprising ways? Though their civilization fell, the Minoan spirit endured. From their artistic styles influencing Greek pottery to their myths inspiring stories of labyrinths and monsters, the echoes of Crete's golden age still whisper through time. So, Were the Minoans victims of nature, invaders, or both? Maybe the answer lies not in how they fell, but in how they continue to inspire. Drop your theories in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating tales from history.